All right, let's talk about getting lean. And by lean, I mean that elusive state where your muscles actually show up to the party instead of hiding behind a cozy layer of insulation. So according to the largest analysis of DEXA scans ever conducted, examining over 9,000 American men, a whopping 97% of guys are carrying more body fat than they'd like. The average is a squishy 27%. So to put that in perspective, you're statistically more likely to become a millionaire than to achieve those coveted abs. If that sounds depressing, don't worry, it gets better. Getting lean isn't impossible, it's just a matter of following the right approach. And unlike most fitness advice that promises overnight transformations, spoiler alert, they're lying, I'm gonna break down the realistic, sustainable path to getting lean no matter where you're starting from. So this is my story of how I got to 10% body fat. Consider this your roadmap to finally seeing what your abs look like, assuming they haven't permanently relocated to a beach in Fiji. So first, we have to set realistic expectations. So while Instagram might have you believing everyone's walking around at 8% body fat, the reality is that maintaining an ultra low body fat level is about as fun as watching paint dry in slow motion. Your body literally fights against it, hunger skyrockets, energy plummets, and your metabolism throws a tantrum that would make a toddler proud. The Minnesota starvation experiment provides a pretty sobering look at what happens when you push this too far. So in this experiment, participants who got down to super low body fat levels became so obsessed with food that they chew through 40 packs of gum daily just to feel like they were eating something. They'd spend hours talking about food, collecting recipes they couldn't make, and dreaming about their next meal. Not exactly the lifestyle most of us are aiming for. So this is why for most people, aiming for around 12 to 18% body fat is a sweet spot. It's sustainable, healthy, and you'll still look great at the beach. If you're experienced and more dedicated, you could shoot for 8 to 12%. And fun fact, Chris Evans was reportedly around 12.5% body fat during his Captain America days, and I think we can all agree he wasn't exactly hurting for dates. The point is, you don't need to get down to single-digit body fat to look impressive. You just need to be lean enough to show some definition in your muscles while also maintaining your sanity. So let's talk about the diet strategy. And here's where I'm going to flip conventional wisdom on its head. And this is contrary to my previous beliefs actually. So most people will tell you to ease into a diet very slowly, gradually reducing calories over time. Now I say do the opposite, and here's why. So when you start a diet, you are in the perfect position to be aggressive. You have the most fat to lose, your energy levels are still pretty high, and most importantly, your metabolism hasn't caught on yet to what you're doing. It's like having a head start in a race. Might as well make the most of it. So recent research also supports this approach, showing that an aggressive start leads to better fat loss results overall. And just think about it. You're most motivated at the beginning of a fat loss phase, you have the most room for error, and your body's still operating at full capacity. So why waste this golden opportunity by taking baby steps? So to put this into practice, multiply your body weight in pounds by around 10 or 11 to get your daily starting calories. For a 200-pound person, which is what I am, that's around 2,000 to 2,200 calories daily. Yes, I know that is lower than you'd like it to be. No, you will not die. Your body is carrying around plenty of stored energy, and that's what body fat is after all, and it's more than happy to use it once you create the right environment in your body. So let's talk about making your diet sustainable here. And the key to making this approach work isn't just about the numbers, it's about structuring your diet in a way that doesn't make you hate your life. Protein becomes your best friend during this process, not just because it helps preserve muscle mass, but because it's also incredibly satiating. Aim for around a palm-sized portion at every single meal, and do not skimp on it. Nobody wants to end up skinny fat. Looking like a deflated balloon is not the goal here. When it comes to managing fats and carbs, the secret isn't elimination, it's more so strategic reduction. Instead of declaring war on entire food groups, looking at you, keto zealots, focus on making smart swaps to reduce calories without making you feel deprived. Use 1 whole egg plus egg whites instead of 3 whole eggs. Go for half an avocado instead of a whole one. Choose chicken or shrimp instead of beef more often. These small changes add up without making you feel like you're on a prisoner's diet. And now the weekend strategy is where things get interested. Enter the planned hedonic deviation period, which is just a fancy term for cheat meal that makes it sound more scientific and therefore more legitimate. By boosting calories by 500 to 800 once per week, you create a pressure release valve for your sanity. Yes, it does slow your progress slightly. No, it does not ruin everything. Think of it as taking the scenic route. You might arrive a little bit later, but you'll actually complete the journey. And now for training. So while diet is crucial, training plays a vital role in transforming your physique. The biggest mistake that people make is thinking that they need to kill themselves with cardio. So traditional cardio workouts might actually be making you burn fewer calories overall because your body compensates by reducing energy expenditure the rest of the day. It's like your body's version of budget cuts. If you spend too much in one area, it reduces spending elsewhere. Instead, focus on resistance training and just daily activity. Keep the volume high for your weakest muscle groups during a diet, as these are usually the first to shrink when calories get low. And don't completely neglect any muscle groups. Your calves and your abs will thank you later. Research actually shows that untrained muscles are more likely to be broken down for energy during a caloric deficit, so maintaining a balanced training program is going to be crucial here. So the real secret weapon in your arsenal here isn't endless hours on the treadmill, it's simply just walking. Aim for around 8,000 steps per day, which is more achievable than the mythical 10,000. That's roughly 480 extra calories burned throughout the day with activity that won't leave you gasping for air or dreading your next session. Walking is the unsung hero of fat loss, and unlike intense cardio, it won't impact your recovery from weight training. But of course, we'll also want to maintain our results. So here's the uncomfortable truth that most fitness influencers will not tell you. Instead, over 80% of people regain the fat after their diet. This happens because your metabolism adapts like a stubborn mule. When you drop from 180 to 160 pounds, your daily calorie burn might decrease by about 400 calories, which if you think about it, that's a whole meal. Your body essentially becomes more efficient at using energy, which is great for survival, but not so great for maintaining a lean physique. The key to avoid this metabolic adaptation trap is twofold. So first, don't crash diet to get lean, and second, maintain your healthy habits after you reach your goal. Keep protein high to preserve your muscle mass, maintain those daily steps, they're even more important now, and of course, continue that resistance training. Gradually increase your calories as you transition to maintenance, but accept that you may need to eat slightly less than you did before to maintain your new weight. I know, it's not fair, but neither is the fact that some people can eat whatever they want and still look great. So think of getting lean as climbing a ladder. You can't skip rungs and expect to reach the top safely. If you're starting at 30% body fat, aim for the high 20s first. From there, target the low 20s, and then the high teens and so on. Each stage requires slightly different approaches and expectations. The key is not just trying to jump straight to the end goal. That's like trying to become the chess grandmaster after learning how the pieces move. Technically possible, but likely to end in frustration. So overall, getting lean is simple, but it's not easy. It requires consistency, patience, and the ability to ignore your coworker Karen, who swears by her all cookie or all yogurt diet. The best approach is one that you can actually maintain without turning yourself into a hermit who weighs their lettuce. Because what's the point of having abs if you never leave the house to show them off? Remember that the journey to getting lean is going to be personal. What works for one person might not work for another, but the fundamental principles are going to remain the same. Create a sustainable caloric deficit, maintain protein intake, stay active, and of course be patient with the process. Focus on building habits that you can maintain long-term, rather than pursuing quick fixes that leave you rebounding back to square one. Now, my friend, go forth and prosper, and maybe skip that third donut, or don't. You know, this is a fitness video, I'm not a cop. And that is it. Thank you for watching this video. Sorry if the Christmas decor that I have in the house has been a little bit distracting, but otherwise, if you are looking to get a head start on your fitness goals, lose body fat, build muscle, and feel and perform like you're 20 again, feel free to fill out the application in the description below for a little bit more information on my one-to-one coaching program. Talk to you soon.